I got a phone call from the CEO, said, hey, this is real, and we have quite a situation on our hands. So I remember saying to my wife, I have no idea when I'll be home. Take care of the family, and I'll check in when I can.
Welcome. I am here with Nick Szymanski, Vice President and CIO of Signature Healthcare, and we are here to hear some of the experiences that you had with your recent electrical fire. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And we're looking forward to hearing your story. Can you give us a recap, Nick, of what happened?
I think it was February 7th. We started getting some text messages and alerts that there was a fire. It really didn't hit me until I got into the parking lot and I saw ambulances from multiple states lined up, patients coming down from intensive care units and babies, coming out in towels from places. And I said, oh boy, this,
wow.
this is real. It was something out of a movie, and it seemed very surreal. And then result was a 10 alarm. All the patients had to be evacuated, and that's really the story, is that not a single patient or employee was hurt during this whole thing.
Once you got through that initial shock, what was the IT response, and how did you orchestrate all of it?
The very first step was, what does the patient need and how do we help with their care wherever they're going? Being connected to Commonwealth and having CCDs and the partnership also with MEDITECH, we were able to send critical information to these other facilities that were now receiving our patients.
How did MEDITECH help you? Obviously, the MEDITECH community. How did I know that it was something that we were certainly watching very closely?
As we started our response to the fire, by way of opening urgent cares and things like that, reaching out to MEDITECH and having their assistance, and this is probably the best way to set it up. Here's some other sites that have set it up. Here's what we recommend. That became very instrumental too.
You ended up being able to provide outpatient care. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We were looking at doing urgent care to hopefully alleviate some of the stress that the other facilities were now feeling, because our patients are going there. There is no ER, and we need to support our community. We opened up 2 urgent cares within about 2 to 3 weeks of the fire, which was remarkable. But again, we had to be innovative, we had to move quickly, and we had to be very decisive, and always keeping the patient and community front and center.
Right. You were recently recognized in Becker's from the Loan Institute. They ranked you as one of the most socially responsible hospitals. Can you talk a little bit about that?
There's so many teams that have been going 200 miles an hour the second the fire happened. So to see something come out like that and to be recognized for your efforts to keep the community front and center, and given what we went through, it was a much appreciated and I think a much welcomed recognition.
So when will you be back to being fully operational?
Yeah, we're aiming for some limited services to be up and running in the next few weeks, and then we're targeting early next year to hopefully be back and fully operational. We've installed solar panels over the parking garages. That was a project that we probably had in the works for a few years, but now with this situation, there's not many hurdles in the way. So those type of things, we're trying to find the silver lining in the situation.
Wow, well, I wish you the best, and we're looking forward to the big reopening.
Yes.
Thank you.